These are the brittle days of northern autumn. If there's such a thing as a varmint whisperer, well then Laramy Miller would show Alaskan adventure.
Well, this is the last little view of civilization we'll see for a little while.
Kodiak, the second largest island in the United States. So big that to get anywhere, you gotta have yourself some wings.
Old black-tailed, single black-tailed buck up at the top of there. Another adventure. A little different country to hunt.
Laramy's hunting with his guide, Adam. Though a non-resident doesn't have to have a guide to hunt deer in Alaska, it's not a bad idea.
You know, it's pretty awesome. I'm sitting here looking all around. There's literally deer 360 degrees around me. Once you fly in Alaska, you can't hunt until the following day. But sheer beauty. Actually have a nice day. Set up camp. Didn't rain on us. Can't beat that, especially on Kodiak Island. It was my first time to Kodiak Island. And I brought a lot of modern equipment this trip around because the weather here is nothing to mess with. The last thing I want to do is get so stinking wet and cold and they find me 10 years from now. It is beautiful though. One thing about this country up here, as wet as it is, it's always damp. You gotta make sure your gun's clean, especially on these old muzzleloaders. The last thing I want is to have a deer right there and it go pop. Good to go.
Across the wilderness spaces of Kodiak, the deer population is abundant enough to support an annual harvest of more than 10,000.
Pretty nice when you climb out of the tent and you can see deer from camp. Well, that's a good sign. It just left camp. There's a doe and a buck right up here on top of the ridge. They've already spotted me, so I'm gonna go up the bottom of this canyon and get up into that saddle and see what they do. This is a really cool place. You can see for miles. But that makes it kind of tough to hunt sometimes. Look at that big old buck straight over there.
Kodiak Island. It's famous for bears, but home to a variety of game, including an abundant population of trophy Sitka black-tailed deer.
It's gonna be a long wait. I got 3 bucks bedded down and no real way to get closer to them. So it's the waiting game.
With all the brands of camouflage there are on the market, the best method of concealment, well, it's still the same as it's always been. Don't move.
I've been sitting right here in this saddle for about 2 hours, One of them just got up, but I can't move in because it's too open. I gotta wait. Now there's so many deer, it'd be easy to kill them with a high-powered rifle. You throw in traditional equipment in this big open country, and it's a whole different story. You gotta have patience.
Like that old starving buzzard that's sitting on a limb waiting for something to die, Laramy decides it's time to get up and see if he can kill something. Blacktail are praised as the best eating deer there is. While some venison can be pretty gamey, blacktail, well, almost never is. All the loud noises in the world, thunder, volcanoes, tornadoes, add the sound of a misfire. Only thing louder is a second one.
I had a misfire on a nice deer with my muzzleloader. I went to clean my muzzleloader, pulled out the nipple, lost my nipple. And of course, I usually always have one with me. I didn't have a backup, so.
With his hawking out of service, Laramy's got to contrive a new plan. Luckily, the guide, Adam, has his 12 gauge and slugs for bear protection.
Gonna have to make do. It's about as primitive as a muzzleloader, just not as much smoke.
That fence back there's electrified to discourage bears. Now that shotgun's for hunting deer.
It's amazing how long dusk lasts here. I mean, the sun's been about to go down for a couple hours, it feels like.
Wait till winter, it'll be dusk all day.
All day is dusk.
Mm-hmm. I'd have a hard time with that.
The nights might be a plumb short up here, but that means the days come sooner. And with them may be a brighter outlook for Laramy.
Got a buck coming walking the bottom of this ridge. He should walk right to us.
Kodiak Island, Alaska, home of the world's largest bears and one of the most beautiful deer, making a misfire all the more frustrating. Now, Laramy's got to scramble to find a way to carry on with the hunt.
Gonna have to make do.
Good old patience. Me and her have a love-hate relationship. You know, part of me, there's deer all around me. So part of me says, hey, let's go after that buck. Let's go after that buck. This country's so open that, you know, unless you get one bedded down in a good spot with traditional equipment, you know, I gotta be within 70 yards. Well, in this country, that's kind of a chore. Got two bucks about 150 yards, 200 yards, right here looking at me.
be real low. He's going straight up the mountain. Bye-bye. This stuff's so loud, you can't really move around in it. Lost cause, so let's just keep moving a little bit.
Now, Laramy may have bad weather to deal with.
We've got a real nice buck trailing a doe out here in the flat. There's a couple other does scattered throughout there. I just saw a buck over here. There's 2 bucks behind us. I'm just gonna sit down. They're moving. They're starting to chase does. Sooner or later, one's gonna come by us.
If Laramy had a modern bolt-action rifle and scope, he'd already be packing hindquarters out of here.
Got a buck coming, walking the bottom of this ridge right here. He should walk right to us. We're kind of stuck out in the wide open, so we're gonna have to be really still, but he should walk right underneath us, as long as we don't move.
This being Kodiak, Laramy's not the only carnivore who notices a good eating Sitka buck out on the flats. A Sitka blacktail knows enough that when a Kodiak's coming in one direction, it's best to go the other. If you ain't willing to stay out in the rain, you got no business in hunting Kodiak.
Pretty much rained all day. Nice and wet. And I head back and get dry. And hopefully the rain will kind of let up and I can hit it hard again tomorrow.
One more thing Laramy and bears have in common is that fish are almost as good as deer.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna be a grizzly bear before I leave here.
While Laramy's busy chasing salmon bear style, Guide Adams catching Dolly Varden the more usual way.
Fresh fish. Look at that big old buck straight over there.
Kodiak Island, Alaska. Lots of fur bearers and plenty of Sitka blacktail. A misfire leads to a change of plans and competition for blacktail with a 1,200-pound opponent. Now, there's weather to get through on the way to a buck.
Been seeing these deer run this ridge a lot. So instead of watching them from camp, I decided I'd come sit up here on the ridge. See if I can't get lucky.
It's hard to imagine Laramy could be in a better place to get good and lucky.
We're gonna have to sit real still right here and we'll kill a deer. Look at that big old buck straight over there.